Hey everybody, my name is Zilla Blitz, and I thought it was about time we did a channel update. I had intended to do these things on kind of a monthly basis, and I realize now that it's been about 3 months since we've done one. So I'm going to kind of ramble for 10 or 15 minutes about four different things without really any kind of a set agenda or talking points and stuff. But first, I want to show a little bit about what's going on behind the scenes, some of the numbers behind like the views and comments and likes and stuff like that on the various series that are going on, because I know some people like to see behind the scenes snapshots of how the channel's doing or how channels are doing. Then I talk a little bit about how things are going emotionally, and making a YouTube channel is it can be frustrating. It's a marathon, all those kinds of things. And just like, where am I in terms of energy and all that kind of stuff with approach to the channel. Then I thought I'd talk a little bit about a couple things I think I've learned that I think are helping a little bit. And not by any means, it's a tiny channel right now, and I have no idea still what I'm doing. But I feel like finally some things are starting to get through my thick skull, and I might have figured a couple things out in the last couple months that are helping a little bit, or I've made things better, perhaps. And then lastly, just some kind of plans for the upcoming month. What's coming up? What series am I thinking on doing? And what's going on for the month of September? So let's jump right in and take a look behind the scenes at the channel. So here we have the dashboard. We are at 165 subscribers. For the longest time, this was just stuck at 115 to 120. It would pick up like 4 people, and then I would lose 4 people, and it just wasn't going anywhere. But over the past month and a half, it's really jumped up. We're picking up about, it says 19 here in the last 28 days, but I think on average, we're picking up about one a day, which for me feels really good. I still do the happy dance whenever I get a subscriber. So if you are new and want to make me do a happy dance, that's a great way to do it. It's still such a small channel that any subscriber is super greatly appreciated. So that I feel like is pretty good. And if we take a look at some of the series here, here is the Devotion to Promotion series, which is still our Football Manager series, taking Nuneaton Borough from the bottom of English football to the top. And I've been really happy with how it's gone. Numbers were trailing a little bit in the 6th season, but now here in the 7th and 8th season, I think things have picked up a little bit. And I got a couple thoughts on maybe why that is, but I'll talk about those a little bit later. But I've been really happy. I'm so grateful, by the way, for everybody that's come by and offered tips and advice and comments in this series. I've learned so much about the game. I've had so much fun doing this series. And I realized that as much as I enjoy playing the game, it's been this kind of interaction with people and people taking the time out of their busy days to watch and comment and like and all that kind of stuff. That's been just as much fun this year as playing the game. This is the farthest I've ever gone with Football Manager Save. 8 seasons now. We just finished the 8th season. And I've started so many times to try to take a team from the bottom of English football to the top, and I've always given up because of lack of interest or momentum or determination or got fired or something like that or whatever. And so this has been such a fun gaming experience for me since FM20, the game, has been released. And thank you all. That everyone who's been there and been part of that has really been part of that being kind of one of the best gaming experiences I've had. So thank you. I'm really happy with the views on that one and how it's going. Again, lows of 20, up high of 50s. Likes seem to always cross 10 likes. It hasn't really been growing that much, but it's been just kind of steady between 20, 50, and occasionally 60 views on a video. And most videos, again, get the triple doubles, so views, likes, comments, a 10 or greater. So I've been really just pretty pleased with that one. Then in between the last channel update and this one, I started the Euro Truck Simulator 2 series, and that one started out really well. Like if we look down here on the analytics where it shows you your top 10 videos over the past 28 days, like a month and a half ago, 9 out of 10 videos were from the Euro Truck Simulator 2 series. And I feel like that's gotten a little bit of same to it. So the views have started to tail off a little bit. And so I'm going to kind of switch things up a little bit with that one. Because as we look now here, I think 7 of the top videos over the past month in views are back at the Devotion to Promotion series, which has picked up views, and the Euro Truck Simulator has not been bad, but just comparatively has fallen a little bit behind the Football Manager series. So, but that one, I think, again, I've been really happy with that. I get views, again, usually 20 to 40s now. Likes and comments comparable, a little bit less than the Football Manager series, but it seems like it's been certainly fun to do. And again, likewise, it's the people's comments and stuff that have really brought it to life for me in doing it. And then I started a new series this week, and it's the one Help Will Come Tomorrow. If you haven't checked it out yet, it's going to be a really short series, so not a big time commitment. This isn't a marriage to this series. I think it's about a 3 or 4 hour playthrough, and each episode's about 15-20 minutes. So my guess is it's going to be about 10 to 15 episodes in all before we die. So if you want to just have something light to dig into, short episodes, I would recommend this one. This is a survival adventure kind of resource management game about being some survivors in the Siberian wilderness after your train was ambushed by renegades. That just started, again, a third episode. Views are pretty, I'm really happy with them. 28 views for the first one, 22, 18, and they'll probably pick up. I think this one just came out yesterday or today. And but thank you again for the people who have stopped by and checked it out. It's a really fun game, kind of an interesting game, and not all that deep of an engagement. So maybe that one's kind of fun. So I'm happy with how that's jumped out. And so altogether, I think those numbers, I've been pretty happy with how things have gone there. If we look at some of the analytics and things like that, some of these things I just don't get. I mean, overall, if we look at views, where are we? Views, here's views over the past one. They kind of rolling between, I stopped publishing on Sundays, so the numbers tend to go down then. Here's 19 and 20, but usually between the low 20s, these 2 days I missed because of the release of Crusader Kings. But views seem to be kind of in the 30s to 60s, I guess, or so, 50s, between 25 and 50. Let's be realistic. Yeah, 25 and 50. But that's up what it was 3 months ago, where they would regularly fall below 25 views a day. And especially if I didn't put anything out, they would go down to like 5 right away. So I feel like that's been, the views are good. And I feel like along those lines, those things are going pretty well. And I think that ties into one of the things I've learned a little bit as well. The other things, let's take a look. If we have reach, I cannot figure out this impressions click-through. I've tried everything with thumbnails, and it always seems to flatten out between 3.5 and 3.7%. And I don't know. I don't get it. So that's there. Watch time. This is, I think, more. It's gone up. It actually doubled in the last 2-3 months. But I think that's because I had 2 series going at the same time every other day, which is one of the things I think I've learned a little bit. I'll talk about that later. Average view duration. Again, I have no idea what this is. I mean, 7 minutes. I mean, I know what it is, but I don't know what it means. Like, is 7 minutes and 20 seconds, 26 seconds good? It would be more helpful to me if it were a percentage of videos based on length and by series. So I kind of look at that and say, well, that doesn't really change. I mean, 0% hasn't changed at all. It just seems really steady there. So that's it. The thing that I thought was really interesting was watch time from subscribers. So 84% of views are from subscribers. And watching some other videos on YouTube, it seems like that's almost kind of broken. I don't get why it's that high for subscribers and why it's so low for non-subscribers. And I feel like there's a lesson in there for me, but I don't know what it is. If you have an idea on what it is, by all means, please let me know. But yeah, I'm kind of confused by that because it seems like that's super high compared to all the other numbers I see on channels of kind of this size. But again, I assume it's both good news and bad news, but I don't know what either of those pieces of news would be. So that's a little bit of a look. Of course, revenue, flat 0. Not really in it for the money. Actually, I'm not in it for the money. Not even really in it for the money. It's just more fun and stuff. Views, pretty steady now, stuff. But again, that's up considerably over the previous, over 3 months ago. So I'm pretty happy with that. So there's a look behind the channels and stuff like that. I think in terms of, let me just jump back here and go to, in terms of kind of mental state, I confess that June and July were tricky. Subscribers was just flat. Views were flat. The views were going down on the Football Manager series. They were just dropping a little bit. Didn't feel like I had a good idea what I was doing. Engagement in the videos, people are commenting, still was really good. And that's kind of, I think, what kept me going during that time. Because there was a few times where I said, I'm not sure this is doing it kind of. I don't feel like there was any growth and I wasn't doing a very good job and my videos weren't good. And I was really down about it. And, I just kind of keep having to remind yourself, okay, just make one more. Just kind of make one more and just keep going. And so I wasn't necessarily, not that I wasn't happy or bummed out or depressed or anything like that. I was still having fun doing it, but it was kind of like, wow, I don't feel like I'm very good at this. And I don't feel like it's making people happy, and people aren't enjoying the content. I don't know, just kind of a little bit of a negative spiral there. But then as I switched up series to the Euro Truck Simulator 2 series, started finding a little bit of better pattern and stuff like that, and the views and the subscriptions just really went up over a couple months. And I was like, oh, wow, it started to get just a little bit of momentum in life. And thank you again to all the people who've tweeted about stuff, supported stuff. It's been really, I'm humbled to see the support that people have given this channel in social media and with comments and with sharing it and shout outs on their videos and stuff like that. I think that is the thing too that really kept me going through July and June, was kind of getting to know some of the people in this YouTube universe who kind of have channels. We've got a lot of channels the same size and stuff like that, and just seeing the support for each other and people reaching out and trying to help. And I hope I've been able to do that to a certain degree, to reach out to people back and help their channels and do stuff. And so just really grateful for that, because I think in many ways that kept me going during that time. Would be, and you'd be really down and all of a sudden someone would do really nice or say something nice about your channel and you're like, oh, cool. That's cool. I can do this. Okay. I can do it one more day, kind of thing like that, you know? So that's it. Right now, I feel really good about the channel. I'm having a good time. Hey, I realize it's small. It's super tiny. You know, some of the videos get 20 views and stuff. And it's a lot more than they were getting like 8 months ago when I started, that's for sure. But it is fun to see some momentum. I'm really enjoying the creative process. And I've really enjoyed trying to reach out and engage more with the community and get to know people, because there's so many fine people that are in these places where they're playing games or doing stuff they love and making YouTube channels. And it's been really fun to just interact with people. It's you know, it's as equally as fun as making the channels in the game. So yeah, I think right now I feel like things are pretty good, and I'm feeling pretty positive about things. So I'm having a good time, and that little kind of wavering month and a half there seems to be gone, and it feels pretty good. So then there's kind of the things I've learned. So thing number one is the old adage. It comes from The Field of Dreams, the U.S. baseball movie. If you build it, they will come. And the idea is, if you make something of quality, people will show up and watch it. And I think that's blatantly false with YouTube. Absolutely, because I love to watch channels and look at channels and see what kind of stuff people are making, see what kind of views and subscribers they got and all that kind of stuff. And if there's anything that I've learned in YouTube and kind of doing this over the last 2 or 3 months, is that there are some really good channels, especially new ones starting out, that get 5, 10, 20, 15 views per video with like 1 or 2 comments, and they're really good. They're really good. And then I see other channels with like 3,000, 4,000 subscribers, 5,000, 10,000 subscribers and stuff like that. And I look at the video and I say, wow, there's just not a ton of quality there. You know, it's just not there. And the videos will get 500, 1,000 views. They don't necessarily get the most engaged comments, but there's clearly a way to build a channel that gets a ton of subscribers and gets a decent amount of views with a lack of engagement. And you see that. So there's the idea between views and subscribers and quality doesn't necessarily match up in a perfect line, which is what we would expect in this type of environment. So then the question is, okay, what do you do to help work with that? And I've really come down to the realization that it's, you know, it's both quality and promotion and engagement. If you feel that might be a better way, that I think is really what helps channels grow. You know, I think a couple of examples of channels like that I can look at that have done a really good job with quality and promotion. I think of Flaky Boy's FIFA 20 channel, where, I mean, the guy just makes really good stuff, and he's constantly helping people in the community and promoting his stuff, but promoting other people's stuff and helping stuff, just really reaching out and connecting with people in a very positive and genuine way. And then FM Llama, of course, within Football Manager. I mean, the guy started a channel just a little while ago, and he gets over 100 views per video right now. And the quality is just through the roof. I mean, you can tell he just has such a great time making stuff. And he's also just such a really nice guy. I mean, he's just always helping people out, reaching out and engaging with people. I don't know how there must be like 5 of him, I think. I'm convinced, with all the stuff and how active he is and things like that. So, you know, I think those are 2 people that I really throw in a category of done just such a good job with. So the other thing I think I've learned too has been just about the frequency of publishing and the length of publishing. And I really like the sweet spot I've got now, which is to try to publish series that have a story and a story arc to them, to publish them 3 times a week. So one Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the other Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. That feels like a really respectful amount to push out in terms of production, and then try to aim for that like 20-minute sweet spot in length. 20 minutes or less feels like a really good amount. Maybe up to 25 is okay, but that feels like a really nice length too. And I know for me, it's really hard if a series comes out every day, I just can't keep up. When you're trying to watch, there's probably 30, 40 series I'm trying to keep up with. And if every day it's a half an hour, you do the math, it just can't be consumed. It just can't be consumed. So usually in series like that, I'll end up watching every other one or something, or one every four, whatever you can do. But that amount seems to be working really well in terms of production. I think that's about it in terms of kind of stuff I think I'm learned and stuff I'm happy with. In terms of going forward, lastly, I thought plans for the upcoming month. So first off, I want to continue with Devotion to Promotion. I feel like this might be the last season. If we can get to the Premier League and stay in the Premier League, that was kind of the goal. I don't think I want to try to play another half dozen seasons to get to the chance where we could probably win the Premier League. I'm not quite sure. I'm going to see how this first season goes. But if we get relegated, then I think I might try to come back. So maybe 1 to 3, 4 more seasons with that. But I've really enjoyed that series. That's been super fun to do. The other series is the Euro Truck Simulator 2 series. I feel like that's kind of lost its momentum. And so what I'm going to try to do is weekly episodes of that in September, probably on Wednesdays, and try to maybe do more of those history landmark tours where we take a look at some landmark in the game and try to learn the story behind it as we drive to it and talk about that. I've really enjoyed doing those. I want to continue the Help Will Come Tomorrow series until we lose that first game, or win perhaps, but most likely lose. So that will be Monday, Fridays. So that gives 6 videos a day. And then I want to talk a little bit about some of the older ones. We had an Allies at War Panzer Corps series that I really like doing, but the episodes just started getting really long. And I was thinking how I can keep that going because I don't want to give it up. I'm thinking to try to do one scenario a month of that. Because I can often sit down and record those in 1 2.5 hour session and then just break them up into 5 episodes and maybe scatter them over the month for people that were enjoying that series. Because I still want to kind of keep that going. Then I was doing a year of game design, and I've stopped that a little because things are kind of waylaid and went down a path where there just really wasn't much to show because of the nature of the stuff I was studying. But I've kind of got that back and it's moving again. So I think I'm going to start doing those probably every 2 weeks. In terms of bringing those back, and then channel updates like this. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to do. Oh, yes, of course. How could I forget? Crusader Kings 3. If you're not familiar with this game, Crusader Kings 2 is probably one of my favorite all-time games for the amount of stories and strategy and history that's involved in the game. So I want to play something with Crusader Kings 3. It came out last week. I've been messing around with it for a while, and I think I've got a couple ideas on how the structure at least that I want to try to do for a series with a blend of kind of making the episodes shorter and then at the same time showing a lot of gameplay too. So I'm piddling around with that. I made one episode, I didn't like it, but I think that's going to replace The Help Will Come Tomorrow in about a week or two. So I hope to have the first episodes out for that probably by the middle of September. So that's kind of the plans coming up. I realize probably in a babble, probably gone about 20 minutes or so. But if you have feedback, thoughts, feedback on video quality, length, production, things you think I can do better, that would be super helpful because I think that constant improvement of your production quality and stuff you're making is really helpful. Any like patterns, do I say too much gestures, too scattered, are the games in Football Manager too long? I have some ideas on that too. But anything that you think might help the channel or you'd be curious or think is like good about the channel that I should do more of would be really cool as well. But other than that, again, just I'd like to end with, as always, thank you for watching and thanks to everybody who's supported in any way some of the cool stuff that's out there. And I hope it makes some people's days better. I hope some people come by sometimes and watch stuff and say, I'm glad I spent this 15 minutes watching this stuff that was entertaining and it was fun and stuff like that. And I appreciate all the cool stuff that people are making as well. And we'll try to get out and watch as much as I possibly can. But again, thank you for all the support for the channel and stuff like that. I'm looking forward to the month of September, and let's go make cool stuff, everyone, right? What is the motto? Have fun, work hard, have fun, get better. So take care, everybody. See you next month.